Welcome to the third episode of Lessons in Consciousness. In this segment, I'm going to talk about the third major category of consciousness that I call the collective consciousness. You may have heard of Carl Jung's collective unconsciousness, and this is a similar concept, except I'm going to take it a few steps further. My definition for a collective consciousness would be all the information in all the minds of all the humans, perhaps shared on some subconscious level. Now, what scientific evidence is there that humans have some kind of giant collective mind outside the confines of the seemingly singular conscious aware mind and individual subconscious mind? Well, let's take a look at the research. A guy by the name of Rupert Sheldrake has a theory called morphic resonance, which basically says that everything from atoms to human society inherits a collective memory that influences form, thought, and behavior. Now, what we're interested in is how this can be applied to the collective consciousness. There's one of Sheldrake's experiments that stands out as indicating that humans have a collective memory or consciousness. It's called the hidden picture puzzle experiment. Now, hidden picture puzzles contain a picture of an object that is camouflaged within the picture. What Sheldrake did was he measured the amount of time it took the average person to find the hidden picture in the puzzles he presented them. Then he took one of the puzzles and showed it to millions of viewers on a BBC TV program. He showed viewers exactly where the hidden picture was. Then he took the puzzle to a remote location where the people had not seen or heard anything about the BBC TV program, and then he presented the puzzles to those people. What he found was that twice as many people found the hidden picture in the puzzle that he had showed to millions of BBC TV viewers than had found it originally. Well, this indicates that humans have a collective mind, and when something is well known, it becomes easier for other humans to realize or think about. Then there's something called speed of learning. This indicates that there is a collective consciousness. An experiment done by Dr. Arden Malberg compared the ability of people to learn the real Morse code to their ability to learn a fake Morse code that wasn't any harder to learn than the real one. Well, surprisingly, the people in this experiment learned the real Morse code much faster than the fake Morse code. This indicates that something that's known by a lot of human beings, like the Morse code, is easier to learn than something that is not known by very many humans. Another evidence that a collective consciousness exists for humanity is something called the Maharishi effect. In 1960, a guy by the name of Maharishi Yogi stated that if 1% of the population would meditate, it would noticeably change the world for the better. Subsequently, meditating individuals affecting their environments known as the Maharishi effect. It's also known as superradiance. Now, the first statistical evidence that the Maharishi effect has some validity was done in 1987 and published in the Journal of Mind and Behavior. The group of participants in the study set out to influence the population of Manila in the Philippines. And the results of the study show that indeed the crime rate in Manila went down while the group was meditating in Manila, and then it went back up after the group left. Okay, so how do we know that this wasn't just a coincidence or a statistical error? Well, we don't, except that there are other studies showing the same thing. The same type of study was conducted in Washington, D.C. in 1993 by members from the Maharishi University of Management and was subject to an independent review process from members of other universities and eventually published in 1999 in the peer-reviewed journal Social Indicators Research. This study also found significant reduction in the crime rate, just like the Manila experiment. So there you have it. Scientific evidence that there is some kind of collective human consciousness out there. In the next episode, I'll talk about something I call infinite consciousness. I'm Dr. Bruce King, and you've been watching Lessons in Consciousness.